It's Aimee and
Nicole O'Brien.
Welcome to the Unapologetic Era podcast. Hi, everybody. My name is Aimee.
I'm Nicole.
And welcome back to episode
Two
episode 2 of the Unapologetic Era podcast. And today we are talking about keeping up.
Yes.
Keeping up
with
the pressures we feel
as women,
comparing ourselves to just about everything there is possible to compare ourselves to. Right?
Other women.
Mainly other women.
Yeah. Moms.
So moms. Let's start here. Let's talk about how we find ourselves comparing ourselves on social media. Like, I don't TikTok, but you're on TikTok a lot. I'm mainly on Instagram.
Pleasure.
So
I have learned a lot off TikTok. I would like to justify my obsession.
Yeah.
Like, I learned a lot.
You do learn a lot.
Some of it I do realize that is not true.
I think some of it is an unhealthy obsession when it comes to the fact that we find ourselves going back to the source that causes us so much anxiety and angst because we're comparing ourselves. So let's talk about that first.
Okay.
How do you feel as 45 to 47? We don't know your age truly.
We don't?
Do we? I thought earlier we're like, how old are you?
I am 45. But I might be 46 by the time this airs.
True.
Okay.
And I'm 47.
Okay.
And so people I feel that there is a misconception that younger people, teenage girls, even boys, young men, but it's more the younger generation that find themselves comparing themselves on the internet and how damaging it is to their mental health,
right,
to the younger crowd. And I think something that is missed entirely and not talked about as much is how those same issues affect us as we're approaching 50.
For sure. I agree, because I see, like, for me, I see all these women who I think are probably our age who look younger or look, in my mind, I'm like, wow, they look way better than I do for that age. Or how does she look that good? What did she do? Blah, blah, blah. And I do find myself going down a hole of, oh, well, maybe I should try that. Maybe I should do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm researching all of these things that I need to do, all the facials, all the creams, all the outfits, all the hairstyles. Like, it's a comparison.
Right. And for me, I think that's something that is big for me comparing. You know, I am in that perimenopausal stage and I know it. And my body is changing a lot because of that.
Yeah.
But also, like, my sleep is changing and I'm hot flashes. I'm not sleeping as well. My energy's low. And so I find that I don't want to be in the gym working out. I'm not going on my daily walks. I'm unmotivated. I'm exhausted all day. So then my body changes even more because I'm not taking care of my fitness.
Right.
And that is what I compare to, like, to the girls or the women our age or even older who I'm like, why is their body so much better than mine? Or why do I have so many more grays? Or why is my face falling so much more? Do you find that that's happening with you? Like,
for sure.
Like that it's a lot of with body image and just like wrinkles. And
I think it's body image almost completely, just like totally like what am I doing wrong? What is happening to my body? Because I don't think anyone ever prepared us or talked about, like, even when I go for my annual physical, they don't say, like, they might say to me, so are you menopausal?
Isn't that supposed to be
Am
for you
I?
to figure out?
I don't know.
Right.
You tell me. Like, or they don't say you should look for this, or these are some signs, or what to do.
Yeah. I find that I'm having to go and find a lot of my own research, which I think is going to be something really cool that we can start sharing on this podcast.
Right.
Is about feeling all of the feelings of going into menopause and looking at other women on the internet or anywhere and being like, wait, why aren't they experiencing those same things?
Right.
Or if they are, why aren't they talking about them? Why are they hiding them?
No one talks about
and
it.
everybody just like makes you feel like you're crazy and emotional, but it's like, wait a minute, something is really happening
For
here.
me, I felt like when I was in my 20s, like when I thought of menopause, or I don't even know if I knew what perimenopause was. I feel like that's a new term. Is that a new term?
I think it is, and I think it's who knows, it could be 20 years old. I just
never
now finding out
I never
about
heard it. Like
because-
it's pre-menopause.
yeah, it's
right?
basically you're getting all the symptoms to show that you're going into menopause, I believe. And I could be wrong on that. Like I said, I am not educated on
But
this
people
yet.
say it all the time. Like I see it all the time on social media. So
Yes.
I assume that is probably what's happening to me because I don't sleep. I can fall asleep fine, but I will wake up 4 times a night.
Yeah, so we're going to dive into that.
And then I go down. Somehow my phone knows that this is happening, and I get all the TikToks about like, oh, I don't sleep at night. You're in perimenopause. Try a supplement.
yeah,
And so I have bought all these supplements,
my
and
gosh.
nothing works.
nothing works.
So I don't I need advice. Like, what in the world do I
Yes.
need? Do I need the vitamin D, the magnesium, the melatonin?
The witch doctor from New Orleans.
I don't. Yeah, I will try it.
Yeah, I'll try it too.
Yeah.
So with that, we're going to be exploring this obviously a lot on this podcast as we both dive into our
And I would
perimenopausal
love
journey.
Some people to give their insight on.
Oh yeah,
Because
resources.
advice.
Comment some resources so we can do that on a future episode. But what I was going to say with the comparison on social media, we're old enough to know that those photos are edited, images are edited, photoshopped, the wrinkles are taken out, the stomach
Yes.
probably looks flatter.
Right.
Like we're old enough to be aware of that fact.
I
that
do
that
forget.
happens. But when we're looking at it, don't you feel like
it just makes me feel bad.
it makes me feel bad? Like
Yeah.
it should, because society and because these other women on social media are portraying themselves this way, like this is how you should look at this age.
Yeah.
Do I need to be doing that as well? Because I don't even wear makeup on my skin. I just put lotion on and then I think, should I be wearing makeup? Or I see you and you look so beautiful and flawless. I'm like, should I be wearing makeup? Should I do these things? And it
see, when
really
I
makes
look
me
at you,
insecure.
I don't think that.
Right, because we're our own worst critic.
Yeah, I don't think that. Like, I didn't even know your skin looks great. I didn't know you didn't have
I
makeup
do
on.
not wear any makeup on my skin.
That's
I put a little something on my eyes and I'll wear chapstick or lipstick, but I don't put any
I did
foundation
Not. I would have not
or
known that.
concealer. I don't put any of the stuff, the lines. What are those lines people put on and then buff around?
Tape?
No. You know how they put like a darker color on their foreheads and like on their nose and
Bronzer?
stuff?
Contour.
Yes. I don't do
I don't
any
know how.
contour.
I've tried and I look.
I don't do
ridiculous.
any
I don't know how to
loose
do
powder. Maybe on a future podcast we can like contour ourselves.
Oh my God.
I don't put anything on my face. I put like my moisturizer and my sunscreen, and then maybe a little mascara.
Have you tried the tinted sunscreen?
I don't like it. I feel it makes my skin feel claustrophobic.
I would like just to point out that I think when we look at ourselves, we're so critical.
So critical.
And I would never think that
I
of
feel
you.
like my face, like it's so wrinkly, I look like the Crypt Keeper.
That's not true.
And when I wear tights, I feel when I look at other people's pictures on social media and then I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, holy shit, it looks like I poured oatmeal in my tights.
That's just
Like
we
you
were
can see
talking
every
about
little bump and lump.
today at Lulu. We were like,
You can't buy the. I would
not
never wear
light
pink
colored
tights.
leggings. For one, in case we pee while we're working out, because that happens
It
at
happens
this age.
all the time. And if you wear pink pants, you can see the pee. If you wear
Even
black
if it's
tights,
sweat, it looks like pee.
yeah. If you wear the black tights, you can't see the pee.
Only
But
dark colors.
I'm envious of the girls that can wear the pink tights.
I am too, but you don't really like pink.
Well, I have pink shoelaces on right now.
You do. I want to wear the fun stuff and not feel self-conscious. And when I go out I don't go to a public gym, but like even when I go out shopping or to the grocery store, people wear workout stuff like everywhere now. That's the thing. And I'm like, why can't I be that confident to go to the mall in my leggings?
I know.
Never. I would not be caught dead because I feel like every person would be like, oh my God, I can see her dimples.
Which is crazy because
all I think when I see people is, why can't I be that confident?
Which is crazy to me because I always promote to women, feel confident in your body, like wear the clothes, and I see them. And then I'm like, why? I'm a hypocrite because I find it hard to do. Now I do go to the gym, the grocery store and work out clothes, but primarily sweats and large t-shirts because I'm
I would
feeling
never
so
wear a short
insecure about my body right
now.
now. And I think, do you think that because we do suspect that we're both perimenopausal and we are getting like the little bit of the perimenopausal belly and things are changing and shifting at this age, do you think that that makes us more insecure watching other women on social media or seeing people on social media?
I think it can, but I feel like as a woman in general, I feel like I have always had a little bit of that. Like even as a teenager, which I would kill to have my teenager body back. I would never kill anyone. I just would like to say
Have you seen like on Instagram or wherever, like the meme or the different things where it's like, love your body right now because in 5 years you would do anything to have this body. And it's true.
It totally resonates with me because things that I obsessed over or I thought were awful then, not a big deal.
Not a big deal. And now, so I tried to tell
Why
myself,
didn't I appreciate that then?
Right. But but how come we can't in this moment be like, we need to love our body for what it is right now because in 5 years we are going to wish it was like what it is right now.
When we're 60, we're literally going to be like, damn it, why don't I have my 45-year-old body back?
Right. But why can't we like acknowledge that and be like, yes, my body is great right now. And I think we do need to work on that. Let's all work on that. But I do think a lot of it is because these like falsified versions of what a woman should look like are
social
all
media now in this day and age is like what our magazines were when we were teenagers.
Yes.
Like the teen and the 17. And I do think that influenced me as a teenager. I wanted, like when we were teenagers, the it body was stick thin. And that's what I thought I should look like. And I didn't. So therefore I didn't feel like I looked the way I was supposed to. But now I don't care about that. Now I just care about, like, I want to look healthy.
Yes, same.
But I also don't want the rolls rolling out in places they shouldn't. I don't know.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So you know how when we talk to each other or like when you see a friend, if it's a good friend, you're not looking at them and judging their body. You just think they look great because you don't see them that way.
Yeah.
So why is it that we maybe don't compare ourselves to our friends' bodies, but we compare ourselves to strangers' bodies? Like, do you think it's because we don't know them and we don't know their personalities and we don't because we love our friends and we
like, I don't care
no matter what.
Like. Yeah, it is.
Whereas
why can't we love ourselves enough?
Yeah, but then you see like a Kardashian or someone on the internet and you're like, God, why can't why can't my stomach like that?
Fair. They have definitely had some help.
Oh yeah. Well, I do believe that. And I do think that
when you're if you want to do any surgeries, like do it. If you feel good about it, do it. I don't care. I don't judge people on that.
Yeah. But I think that it's important to recognize, like, I don't judge people who do any kind of surgeries on their bodies, but I do think it's important to recognize as women that some women are having surgical procedures to look like that because that is their choice.
Yeah.
And you don't have to compare yourselves to that.
Right. Yep.
That's a hard thing to do.
It's hard. Being a girl's hard.
So let's talk about with that. I think that's just something that we're constantly going to have to work on and constantly be aware of and check ourselves and look in the mirror and be like, I love me some Aimee,
another
I love
thing,
myself.
And I say this to my kids and I say it, like I should say it to myself. Why I would not say the things I say to myself, I would not say to someone I loved.
Me too. I say that all the time.
So what am I doing?
Yeah, we talk to
It's like
ourselves.
self-sabotage.
We talk to ourselves in a way we would never talk to other people.
You know what we should do? We should make ourselves, like, I think this makes sense. Like, get out of your comfort zone. And like I just said, I would never be caught dead at the mall in my leggings.
You have to go to the mall.
I'm going to go to the mall in my like something like that.
I think that also
Little baby steps.
But we should also check ourselves and work on the fact that it's like, if we find ourselves saying something to like, if I look in the mirror and I'm saying negative things about myself and terrible things about myself, I need to stop myself in that moment and be like, would I say these things to Nicole? Would I say these things to my daughter? And if the answer is no, then I probably shouldn't be saying them to myself.
Yeah.
And in that situation, I think it's better to check ourselves and like maybe say something nice about ourselves instead.
And then say, but it could be, maybe this is like a two-headed thing, but you could also, it could be so much worse. Like I could have health problems. I could have like severe, like at least I'm healthy.
Right.
At least I don't need like, I don't have a horrible disease or I don't have like, let's be realistic. It's not that big a deal. Like to say that to yourself, like step back from it and just be like, this is so
we have
silly.
to make a pact to ourselves that we're not going to say anything. We're going to work with, now we can't say not because we don't want to set in unrealistic.
Let's be realistic.
But we should make a pact that we are going to try really hard that if we catch ourselves in the moment saying something negative about ourselves, that we are going to hold ourselves accountable and ask ourselves, would we say this to so-and-so?
Yeah.
And if the answer is no, we have to immediately say something nice about ourselves.
I think that's a good idea, actually, because like my sister's a teacher. When they do parent-teacher conferences, if you have something kind of hard for a parent to say, I won't say it, I mean, it's maybe a negative. I don't want to say it's a negative, but maybe like something the parent's not going to want to hear. You always back it up with something positive too. Because you don't want to just be like, your kid, complete shit show and whatever. But also say, but he's really good at reading.
Yeah.
Like.
But we can't give ourselves an excuse to look in the mirror and be like, my stomach is fat, I have new wrinkles, my hair is great, but I'm a really good person. Because I feel like that's giving us an excuse. We have to say, I wouldn't say this. Yeah. I have a great ass. My legs help. I'm strong. My body shows up for me every day.
Yes.
And like try to counter, like change the narrative to those negative thoughts. Yes. Okay, shake.
Okay.
Okay, good. Deal.
Okay.
Okay.
And
so
maybe we should even be like, keep our little journal.
Or we should text each other immediately. I just called myself a fat shit and I immediately corrected it with, I have a great smile and my ass is amazing.
But what if we don't really feel that's true?
But the more we say it, we convince ourselves it's true. So right?
Lying to ourselves?
Well,
see,
no,
that's where
I think it's like changing the narrative because it's kind of like this. Like you speak out to the universe or
you're
God.
Manifesting.
Yeah. I'm saying like what
I'm gonna wake up with a great ass because
what
I said I had
you
one.
speak to the universe or to the goddess or God or Buddha or whoever,
whatever you believe
in, whoever you speak to, you speak that stuff into existence. So if you start saying nice things about yourself constantly, like I have great hair, my teeth are amazing, I am, then we'll start to believe those things.
Over time, though, I think maybe not like believe it because it is true. Like you have a great smile, but like it helps just like kind of erase the negative thoughts.
And that's my thing. Is so
it slowly builds up your confidence.
Yes,
and maybe like. By promoting positivity, we erase the negativity.
That's what I'm saying. We change the narrative. Okay. So like, granted, you may say you can't like wish things that aren't true. So like if you're like, I have a great ass, but you have like a complete pancake ass and it's never going to be a bubble butt. It's just not in your cards.
I think
like that doesn't mean you can't love your butt. So, or like you can't be like, oh, I love my blonde hair and your hair is brown. Like, you can still highlight the good things about you.
Right.
Instead of the negative things about you.
Okay.
And obviously people love your butt.
Do they?
Probably. Okay.
So, yeah. And like, I also think it's important, like, to recognize, like, insecurities we might have had like in our younger years that now I'm like, I actually like that about myself.
Yeah, I do too. Like my big ears.
I was going to say ears. When I was a child, I was convinced that my ears stuck out way too far. I don't know why. I would spend hours in front of the mirror and I would complain to my mom all the time about my ears. Like, my ears don't stick out.
No.
I feel, although in my driver's license picture, they do stick out.
Well, maybe your head just had to grow into your ears a
I
little bit.
do have a big head because hats don't fit me usually. But in my driver's license picture, my ears stick out. But I finally learned it's because my hair is so thick that when I stick my hair behind it, it makes my ears stick out.
Oh my gosh.
But now, even when I pull my hair back, I feel like they kind of stick out and I like it.
Well,
I feel like it makes me unique.
when I was in high school, everybody made fun of my big butt because back then flatter butts were in style.
No
like
butts.
little, no butt.
No butts.
It's like where the hamstring just went into the back.
Yeah.
And I had this huge bubble butt. I still do. And everyone made fun of me because it wasn't
Or you had strong legs. And
yeah, and my legs were strong and I was muscular. And now it's cool to have a big butt. But I like my butt.
And did you always like it?
Yeah, I was always like, okay, well, why do I want to be like everyone else?
Good for you.
I know. When it
I
came
wish
to
I had
butts,
that confidence.
when
as
it
a
came to
teenager.
butts, when it came to other things, not so much confidence. Especially because, in high school, I mean, I've had a real big glow up. In high school, I was poor. Is that the term, glow up?
Yeah. But I love the confidence that
When I was in high school, I was poor. I wore the same thing all the time. My parents were drug addicts. I was not great. I was not popular, but I feel now that it's like all of those things that I have now, I've still had in high school.
Yeah. You're
I
the
just
same
appreciate
person.
Yeah, I just appreciate them now, whereas then I didn't.
I love that for you.
I know. I love that for me. Okay, so let's move on.
Okay. Comparisons.
Comparison. So what we were talking about recently is how you and I are both homebodies. We both like to be home, listening to true crime podcasts,
Blah, blah.
reading true crime books. We read the same books, or watching something on TV that has to do with murder and the serial killers and thrillers. Which,
Get all
by
my
the
book
way,
recommendations from you.
I only have 20 minutes left of that show that you just finished, The Perfect Couple.
No. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
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 So my point, I'm getting sidetracked. So my point is we like to be home. We like to be home with our dogs. Me and my cats. You don't have
The
cats.
highlight of my day is literally what I can watch that night.
Yes.
And
Same.
is that-
getting cozy clothes on, getting on the couch, and what you can watch.
My blanket.
But we were talking recently about how we see other women our age
Because of social media.
because of social media, and they're like constantly, they wear going out clothes all the time. Like I call them real life clothes, and I'm constantly in sweats.
I wear jeans all the time. And honestly, to me, jeans is like dressed up.
Yeah, jeans to me are getting dressed, and then when I get home from wherever I am, I put my sweats back on. Okay, sidetracked. Stay focused. I feel like I'm dug on up. Squirrel. So we were talking about how we see these other women our age where now their kids are out of the house and they're like now have this freedom to like go out on dates or to go out with girlfriends
like
at night, go out
living
and have
their
drinks.
20s over again.
Yeah, they're like going out to drinks. They're going out to concerts. I have this one person I know who is constantly like going on weekend trips with her girlfriends and going out on Tuesday night for drinks and going on a date night with her husband and going to concerts. And to me, that sounds miserable.
Yep. And I'm not antisocial, but that's just a lot of work.
I'm too tired.
Like,
I want to go to bed at 8:00.
by that time of evening, I'm oily. I'm sweaty. I don't want to redo my hair and makeup. I don't want to put on something cute. I just, like, if we go anywhere, I'm going to the Mexican restaurant uptown.
Yeah, so this
Like,
is
that's
what happened.
going out. That's our big excursion.
I have one friend in this town, pretty much, and she'll say, "Do you want to get together and go to dinner?" And I say, "Can we go at 5:00?" so I could be home at 7:30 so I could go to
Yes.
bed at
I
8.
say, can we go to lunch
Yeah.
instead?
Could we go get a coffee at 9:00 in the morning?
I would rather go get a coffee because I like to be at home.
But so when it comes to comparison, we were talking about this, that there are times where I look at that and I'm almost like, okay, well, I am also this age. My kid is also out of the house.
What am I doing wrong?
Should I be doing this? Like, is this what I should be doing now? Like,
I'm
should I
boring.
be going and experiencing?
Because I feel like when our
Like,
kids
are
were
we old
little,
biddies? Is that the term?
we're golden.
We're the golden girls.
We're golden girls. Great show. When my kids were toddlers, and like when they were being real bad and naughty, and you were like, "Fuck my life, this sucks." Did you fantasize about like, when my kids are out of the house, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this, and
yes.
I'm gonna get facials every week, and I'm gonna go to the gym, and I'm gonna go to the mall, and okay, I do kind of go to the mall.
You
a
do
lot.
go to the
I
mall a
don't
lot.
know.
And
But-
you do get facials a lot.
It's maintenance, Amy.
You're living your best life.
I am.
But no, I mean it when
But
I was like,
I'm
no,
trying
how
to
about when you're like-
integrate self-care into my life.
but how about when you were like, I'm going to travel the world and my husband and I are going to go on cruises and to Italy.
We're
and-
so boring.
yeah. No,
Literally the most boring people in the world.
except for us, me and Greg.
You're exciting. You go to fun places.
For work.
For work.
And I stay in my hotel. And
Which
I'm
is-
telling you, I'm not going to name the names because I don't want to offend any of our listeners, but there are some places that I've gone to. I would have rather been watching that Netflix.
Yeah. Honestly,
Plus, I hate to travel. I hate being away from home.
I don't like traveling. I'm actually kind of feeling the vibe here, though. I
But
like
wait,
it.
this
But
is your first trip
It is.
away from your kids.
ever.
Our girls' week.
I have never gone on a girls' trip, ever. And I will say I had my kids young, but I never really had. So I think that's what I'm saying. Like, I had them young, so I never really had that free time. And I was always like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. And now I'm like, I feel like I'm wasting time. Am I missing something?
No, but I think
But I
for
feel
like you and I, where it comes to is like, some people enjoy going out. Some
Yeah.
people want to go out and do these things. And I
that's
like it every
okay.
once in a while.
But we're all different, and that's
But
okay.
I am tired.
Yeah.
I work all the time. I just spent, it's not over raising our children.
No.
Even though 22, how old are your girls?
20 and 24.
20 and 24. So we have these 20-something-year-old girls. We're still very involved in their lives, very active in their life.
Yep.
It doesn't end. But it's like,
It's
I'm
different.
tired. I thought I would see my post-kid ages of me just living it up. But to me,
Yeah.
I just want to be at
I'm
home
not
in
going
my
to a
sweat.
bar.
No.
That sounds like hell.
Nope. I would
No.
rather make myself a little cocktail and sit on the couch and watch Sex and the City or a killer movie.
Yeah, for
Slasher.
sure. And I just think it's important. Like, everyone's different. That's okay. You're not missing out.
Yeah.
Like-
but I think
Own who you. What if you're happy? It's
own it.
okay.
So
Like, it doesn't have to look like so and so fancy pants doing all those things.
Right. So when I was saying about comparison, we don't compare ourselves to that person like jealous or envious, which
No.
I'm sure there are people that do that,
Yeah.
right? You can be jealous or envious of what other people are doing, just like with the bodies.
I'm not like envious of that. It makes me wonder, like, should I be doing more?
Yeah, it makes me wonder if something's wrong with me, if I'm boring, like you mentioned,
Or am I wasting my time?
yeah, am I
Like,
wasting my time?
Am I going to regret this later on that I didn't do that? But
Yeah.
sometimes I feel travel is very stressful for me. It makes me very anxious.
Yes, agree.
Honestly, sometimes when I watch your clips or your stories, which I like to kind of
When
live
I'm
through,
traveling?
I love to see it. But I'm like, that looks like really stressful.
Oh.
That's what I think. I'm like, dude, no.
And I'm not going to be able to do that. I travel a lot for work, but I'm not going to be able to do that
No.
forever. I give myself 4 more years, maybe 5 tops.
And then you move into the
And then I
retirement
don't, and then put me out in the pasture with my horse. I'm going to move into the retirement home. And then I don't want to be a home away from home anymore. I don't even think I can last 5 years. I'm going to give it 4 years and set a and then I just don't want to travel.
Yeah.
For work.
I don't blame you. I even find traveling for vacation stressful just because
Unless
it's
you're
like
coming to my house.
Yeah, because it's different when you're staying with a friend. But if you have to worry about renting the car, finding the hotel, booking the hotel, finding where to eat, what to do, am I getting the most out of my time here? Did I see everything I needed to see? Oh,
yeah.
Like,
so
it's great for me coming here and you're like, this is the best coffee place. We are going here. Awesome. This is the best shopping. We're going here. Perfect.
And we're going to bed at 8 o'clock.
Even better.
So for those of you out there who can relate to this, who also like to be home and also would rather be on the couch watching a Netflix series than going out doing something, or who would rather be at home with their animals than traveling and their husband or wife.
And let's be honest, like we both love our animals. Like I feel bad leaving them.
I do too. I feel like I honestly feel like I'm abandoning them and they're like, you were a terrible mother.
Like I know when I get home, Pepper will give me the cold shoulder for at least 24 hours. She will not look at me. She will not acknowledge me. I will not exist to her.
Yeah. So women or men out there who can relate to this, who you also feel like you would rather be home, share with us. I want you to leave a comment. And
do you feel like that too? Do you feel?
Are we the only two people in the world who would rather be home than traveling or going out on a Tuesday night?
Because if that's the case,
maybe we do need to reevaluate our lives.
Maybe like I said earlier, how I was going to force myself to do something out of my comfort zone. Maybe it wouldn't hurt us to force ourselves to do like a date night with our husband.
Well, I mean, my husband, we do date nights every once in a while, but it's like we go down to, like you said, the local Mexican restaurant at 5 o'clock and we're home at 7 o'clock to watch a show and then be in bed at 8.
We sometimes go to movies, but only if they start at 5.
We only
6 is pushing it because I don't want to get home. I have to drive like 40 minutes to get to the theater.
We went and saw 9. We went and saw Wolverine for the first time.
Was that 5 years ago?
No, the new Wolverine and what you call it?
Oh,
Ryan
Reynolds.
Yes, Ryan. Yes, good movie. I asked Greg if he wanted to go with me.
Yeah,
and we went. It's the first time we've gone to a movie since before the pandemic. Probably like 6 years, maybe.
Yeah.
And we went at like 3 o'clock to make sure we were home. So leave comments. Tell us if we're the only women that feel like this. And also, I want to hear from people who like to go out and like,
how do you like it? Like how did you do it?
Yeah,
tell us how you did it.
How do you get out of your sweats and go do something fun, especially in the middle of the week after 4 o'clock?
Like, how do you have the energy?
No, after you're done working, how do you have the energy to get dressed?
Because if I over-caffeinate in order to...
Then I can't sleep all night.
Function, I start getting jittery, and then I feel nauseous because I had too much caffeine. But, like, tell us how you do this.
Yes, I would like to know.
Yeah.
So, so with that, like, comparing ourselves to people that go out, how do you feel like when you see another woman our age and you feel like, do you ever like go like, shit, they're so much more successful than me, or they're so much happier, or their career, they have this grand career, like maybe they're a doctor, like something that is like.
I think it like, if I'm at the doctor and she's like talking about her family and her kids, and I'm like, how in the world did she go to medical school, raise a family, and do all that stuff? Like, that's amazing. Like, could I have done that? Could I have done more? I do think that.
Mm-hmm.
Did I give up too easily on something, or, but the reality is you can't change it.
Yeah, the reality, well, we could start going to school right now.
I could. You know what? I could.
Like,
maybe my dream career of being an FBI agent.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Okay. Do you want to hear something?
My mom will verify. Since I was like in high school, I was like, I'm going to be an FBI.
Okay. How have we never spoken about this?
I don't know.
Because let me tell you, I don't really like compare myself to others because I'm happy in my career and I know it's where I'm supposed to be. but there are, so I don't really compare myself to other people and their success because I feel like success is so varied. Like there's never going to be enough money and there's never going to be enough success. And
success is based upon your
exactly.
own like desires.
And I feel like I am very successful.
You are.
But I do have a lot of times in my life, especially now that I'm older, that I wish I would have gotten a job in what my schooling was. And guess what that is?
Criminology?
A forensics profiler for the FBI.
You went to school for that?
Yes.
Shut up.
I have a master's degree in forensics and a master's degree in human behavior psychology.
Oh my God.
That was going to be my job.
How did I not know this?
How did we not talk about this? So there is another thing we had in common we didn't even know.
See?
So there are times where, especially when I'm like watching these shows we like to watch or watching a book about an FBI agent, I was like,
I just figured out
my
what
dream
we're going to
job
do in our retirement.
Become FBI agents?
Well, I'm pretty sure
I have too many tattoos now.
neither of us is going to pass the mental test or the physical test.
Well, I think I could pass the physical test. But I will
run those miles
if I trained.
Okay.
But I will say, I think I don't take people in this old. Unless we were like, maybe like if we volunteered to be an undercover old lady.
See, I feel like there's a need. Like, if you looked at me, would you say that lady's an undercover agent? Hell no.
No.
I'm just a mom.
I think that ship has sailed. But
I feel like we could start our own private eye, and we are.
Oh my gosh, like Jessica Jones?
Like, you could hire me to find out if your husband's cheating on you, and I'm going to follow him around in my minivan, which I don't own, but I'm
a very good sleuth. Is that the word? Like
I call myself
sleuth.
a find out-tologist. Like, I'm really good at it.
Okay.
Like, if my friends and family know, like, if you say something, I'm like, I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out where so-and-so from so-and-so that we knew 20 years ago, what they're doing. I know how to look up police records online.
Okay, should we stop this podcast right here and reevaluate whether we should do a true crime podcast
because
instead?
No, but I think this could be a whole new topic about our future retirement hobby of traveling around.
Oh my God. We don't want to travel around. We have to do it in our own town.
We could be the cold case profilers.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, anyway.
Okay.
Off topic. But so my point is, I don't compare my career or my success to other women my age's career or success. Like, I don't look at them and think, oh, God, they're so much more successful than me.
I don't.
But I do sometimes wonder if I would be more successful, or if I would have more respect, or if I would be more financially stable if I had gone to the FBI instead of detouring to
made different
be a
choices.
coach. Yeah, if I had made different choices.
I think every person thinks that at some point. Like, I think there's a movie about this or a book. Like, if you had chosen this instead of that, all the ways your life would be totally different. Like, you wouldn't have had, maybe if you'd made that choice, you wouldn't have this or that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I do think
so. I think we just have to be like, well, this is the path we're on. So there's really no use.
I do think that,
even thinking that.
And I know that, and like it's like you said earlier, there's nothing we can do about it now. But I'm curious, like, again, like everything, I feel so isolated in that thought. Like, am I the only person that has found success at my age and still sometimes wonder or question if I should have done something else, or if I would have been more successful?
I'm pretty sure every single person thinks that. But I also am curious to hear from people who maybe started something new at our age.
Yes.
Like,
funny that you say that. Recently, I am curious. If you are someone in your mid to late 40s and you decided to have a career change, which I've heard about it.
I hear people going back to school.
Yeah. Drop a comment and let us know if you've like gone back to school or completely made a career change.
I kind of feel like society makes us feel like at this point you can't do that.
For sure.
Like, I don't consider that an option for myself, but
I don't really consider it an option, but what if it is? So speaking of that, a couple weeks ago, I have an equine chiropractor for my horse, and he was doing an adjustment. And I was like, I know, don't laugh at me.
I need him to work on my back right now.
My horse has a chiropractor.
Okay.
But I was like, you have such a cool job. Like, how cool is it?
I didn't know that was a thing.
It is a thing. And they're, they go out and they come out and they adjust your horses.
How do you adjust a horse?
It's the craziest
Does the horse lay on the ground?
My horse loves it. No, they stand up. The chiropractor will adjust his shoulders, his neck, crack his neck. It's crazy. He has this box that he stands on when he has to adjust his back. So anyways, I was like, this is the coolest job. I think I would love to be an equine chiropractor, or like go to people's barns and work on their horses. Like,
You could be a horse groomer.
And he was like,
I'm going to do their hair.
he was like, you could go back to school. You can start right now. It would only be like 4 or 5 years. And then by the time you're like 51, you're a horse chiropractor. And I was like, whoa, guy, settle down. I don't know if I'm not ambitious enough to go to a chiropractic school right now. But I just think it would be cool because he said that he started later.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's exciting to me. Like,
Yeah.
I want to hear, like,
Yeah, I want to
I want to
hear
hear success stories of people.
who changed careers and were successful.
Like, I want to maybe try something new.
So that leads us to comparing to who we were when we were younger or who we thought we would be right now. So, for example, when I was 24, I saw myself in my 40s working in the FBI and being one of the best FBI profilers in the country and like solving crazy serial killer cases. That was, I knew,
That sounds so
I
fun.
was adamant from the time I started school. My bachelor's is in psychology to the time I finished both master's degrees. So that was in 8 years that I was going to be in the FBI right now.
And why did you not?
I met Greg. I became a single mom, but I was still finishing my master's degree. So I was still planning on taking that route. I was 24 years old, finishing up my 2 master's degrees, had a baby. I had her and then, I think I finished my second master's degree maybe when she was 4.
Good
And
for you. That's
so
actually
single mom,
super
getting my
impressive.
master's degrees. And I think around that time, I met Greg. I was getting, my weightlifting career as an athlete was going really well because I had also gone back to training.
Mm-hmm.
I had kind of started coaching for extra money, and it just kind of I just kind of rerouted.
Well, it's
I
just
was
like
doing
your
my-
interest at that time was more like you were just more into that.
I was doing my dissertation on the CSI effect, which is, do you know what the CSI
No.
effect is?
I was
So
going to
it's-
pretend I did, but I don't.
It's basically, it
know
was
the show.
for my forensics. It was basically like what, when there's a murder trial or a big trial
Okay.
and the jurors think that things can be solved within an hour. Like, why haven't you found this fingerprint yet? Or why haven't you evaluated this blood splatter yet? Or why haven't you done this? Because in a show like CSI, they get it so quickly, right?
Because I think that sometimes, like when I'm listening to my podcast, I'm like, why did they not
Yeah.
check that?
Exactly.
And-
So that is an effect that is very real because so many people watch true crime. Anyways, I was finishing up that dissertation and I was coaching and I, was getting married and things just shifted.
Yeah.
And I was okay with it at that time.
And that's just, I think that happens in all of our lives.
Yeah. But we were talking about how when we were raising kids, we're like, when our kids are out of the house, we're going to do this, this, and this. I mean, so what did you see when you were younger
Honestly, I
for
don't,
your future self?
I don't even remember. I don't remember what I thought I was going to do. I just thought, all I could think about was like, I just will have freedom and I'll just be able to do what I want. But I don't remember me having a specific like ideal of what I saw myself doing. I think I saw myself like traveling more or just like, I don't feel like I remember ever thinking I'm going to go back to school and have this career.
Yeah.
Because I was the one that never knew what I was doing. I didn't have I want to be this besides an FBI agent. I don't know why I didn't like, I'd like to go back and ask my 18-year-old self why I did not go to school.
So, and I wonder, I'm curious, we asked the viewers to like comment or let us know if they made a career change at a later age. And I am curious if women have found themselves, or even fathers have found themselves with the children getting out of the house and then going after the career they wanted when they had kids. Because a lot of women have kids young, they accidentally get pregnant like I did, or whatever the situation that kind of deters their path.
When I was young, I didn't have a good direction. I didn't feel like I was like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and this is how I do it. And I just always felt very overwhelmed. Like, I don't know. Is that what I want to do? Maybe. I don't know. Oh, you think I should do that? Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
But I feel like now I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, I want to do, like, I actually want to be that. Like, I feel like people didn't think I should or could be an FBI agent, that I was just being like silly Nicole, like, sure you will. But
but now you run a very successful business.
I help run a construction business, which was not anything we thought would happen, but it just happened. And I enjoy it because I can work from home and I have all the freedom I need to do what I need to do.
Yes.
But I do feel like it makes me a little bit too, like, I don't get out a lot.
Same. That's what happens when you work from home.
And I'm very like out in the country and isolated. And I find myself when I do go places like oversharing with like the barista at the coffee shop.
Well, I think it's because we both put ourselves in this situation where you're out in the country, I'm out in the mountains. Yeah. We work from home. There's days we only see our husband all day. And
I find myself staring at a wall. Like honestly, when my kids all were gone, I would just find myself walking around the house like, I don't have anything to pick up. There's no laundry to fold.
You were literally sending me wallpaper samples. You were wanting to redo everything. I'm like, good Lord.
When I had just built my house.
I know. Okay, so it's an interesting thing, and I think we should revisit that.
I think we could really go far with like,
because I want to hear from the viewers.
Like, can you start over? Should I start over?
Do we want to start over?
Should Aimee and I start a private investigation business?
Yeah, like Jessica Jones, but Aimee and Nicole.
Yeah.
But without the superpowers.
That would be sweet, but no. We could get undercover outfits.
So those are some good things that we can bring up. That was our topic today, and how there's such a need to feel like we need to keep up with whatever everybody else is doing, whether it's on social media, whether it's working out, cooking dinner every night, going out with their friends, going on vacation, the trends, the fashion trends, the facial trends, the hair trends.
I think the whole point is it's overwhelming. We all should just be happy with what we have. Yeah. And when we start having those overwhelming negative thoughts, we just need to check ourselves and just bring it back to reality here.
But I think
nothing's as bad as you think it is.
I think instead of being in a situation where we constantly feel like we need to keep up, that we need to be in a situation that we take a look at our own lives and grateful that we can keep up with our own lives. Yeah, just like grateful for what we have. And I think if we're always looking at what everyone else is doing or what the next best thing is, we kind of lose sight of all of the amazing things we have in our life right now. And the time goes by so fast. And it's just like we were talking earlier about how right now, in 5 years from now, we're going to be like, oh, I wish I had my body at 47. But it's like, I don't want it to be a point where I am in 5 years now thinking I should have enjoyed my life more at 47.
Yeah.
Instead of looking to try to keep up with what everyone else was doing based on societal expectations or insecurities that I have or whatever.
I think it's important. Like, we should start. I know a lot of people do. I don't. But like, start journaling things you're grateful for at this point. And in 5 years, you could look back and be like,
well, and I do believe in the power of manifestation. I'm huge on manifestation lately, which I want to talk about in an episode. But I really feel that the more we express gratitude, the more that those good things are going to come to us, or maybe they've been there all along, but now suddenly we're more aware of them.
Because you're being more positive.
Because
your
you're being more
mind is open
positive.
to that possibility.
Rather than always looking at what someone else has or what someone else is doing or what someone else's career is like or what's,
I also think
wishing for that. Like, why are we wishing? You know what my therapist once told me? She said, the grass is always greener where the shit grows. Because I was comparing myself to this person, this person, this person, which I'm not going to go into details because if that person happens to watch, they would know.
Yeah.
But I was constantly comparing myself. And she stopped me and she said, if you had the opportunity right now to change your life for theirs, would you? And I said, fuck no. And then she said, exactly. You have got to stop yourself because the grass is always greener where the shit grows. Meaning, you may think the grass is greener over there, but maybe it's greener over there because that's where all the shit is. Right? So it's like,
it's a good point.
It is a good point. And so sometimes when I start getting myself in this cycle of comparison, I have to stop myself and be like, would I want to trade my body for theirs? Would I want to trade my face for theirs?
Yeah.
Would I want to trade my job for theirs? And the answer is always no. And so for those of you out there watching who can relate to this, maybe that will help you as well. Like it's helped me to just stop myself and be like, the grass may seem greener, but why is it actually greener over there?
There's always something, behind that. Like their life might look great, but social media is fake. We all know that.
Yes.
Like,
except my social media is very real.
It's pretty real. But
although I don't put all the real stuff on there, that is true.
For the most part, like I've said this like to multiple like family and friends, like people post what they want you to see. They're not posting their bad moments or their, bad things. And I think if more people did that, the more like I would love some of my favorite influencers are the ones that are like, I fucked up. I did something really bad and I feel bad and they own it, or I feel bad about this, or I'm having this issue. Like it's so real and it makes me like relate to them. And I'm like, yeah.
Well, that's why I hope that
no one's life is perfect.
No.
That's
and
ridiculous.
I hope we create a podcast safe space for listeners to feel safe to be vulnerable and safe to have anxieties and fears and not like we're going to judge them. And I hope that we can like offer some kind of real life solution or guidance.
Or just to know like you're not the only one.
Or even if we don't know fuck about fuck, at least if we can talk about and be honest and say, we don't know the answers to this. Do you know the answers? Can you like comment and let us know?
Yeah, like I would like a real MD to comment and let us know what we are experiencing is perimenopause. What are the symptoms we should be looking for?
Yeah, we need to think about
my doctor did not actually discuss it with me. I have no idea what's happening.
Maybe we need to get someone on,
a doctor,
Mary-penopausal.
I'll pick.
Okay, so that you pick the card. So that is our podcast today. Don't read it yet. I'm going to read it this time. Follow us, like us, subscribe to us. Follow us on the Unapologetic Era podcast on Instagram.
Are we going to have a TikTok? No, because then we have to. Well, we'll see.
You can do the TikTok. Should we do TikTok dances and trends?
No. Our families will disown us.
Please comment what you liked about this podcast, what you wish we would talk about,
how you feel about
some of these things, and be honest. And also tell us if we're rambling too much. Like we need to know how to make this podcast better for you.
Feedback only.
Yeah, positive feedback preferred.
Don't be cruel.
Don't be cruel. No place for cruelness in this podcast.
We're safe.
But I would like constructive criticism so that we can give our listeners what they're looking for.
Yep.
Okay.
And with that, Amy's words of wisdom.
Here's our words of wisdom today. Live a balanced life, learn some and think some, and draw and paint and sing and dance and play and work every day some.
That pretty much is perfect for our topic. A perfect ending
to our perfect podcast. Thank you for listening or watching, and we'll see you here next time. Bye.